All right, in this video, we're going to walk through everything up here in the right-hand side of your account, as well as this top section. So the top section is going to show you what time zone you've set, how many credits you have left for texting, faxing. It'll look crazy huge if you're on an unlimited plan, like the decentralized version. This will show how many like one-time password SMSs, how many voice credits you have left, voice one-time password credits. So you can click this to see the leads that you have. This will show any pending messages that you've got to reply to or messages in and out that you have. This one will show if you have any voicemails, and this will show how many faxes. Now on the right, you've got this drop down that walks you through everything: your account info, plan details, changing password settings, email services, sub accounts you've created, APIs, and 10 DLC registration. So let's just walk through this stuff really quick. So when you click on account, this is where you're going to see all the personal information for your account and getting it set up. There is something important to look at down toward the bottom, and that is this. If you want your phone number to be set up so that there is a voicemail when someone calls you, you can record a voicemail and upload it by choosing a file that's an MP3 or M4A, or you can do a text to voice where you type in the message that you want. I recommend the uploading of a file. That way it's more personalized and it's in your own voice. The other thing is this: if you've got, for example, a Twilio phone number, that's what I use. If you've got a Twilio number, you can choose from your numbers that are in the platform here as an incoming fax number, if you've chosen one that's fax enabled. And then this is where you'll set that time zone that you see up here. Next thing down is where you can see your plan details. Next is to change your password. Those are all pretty self-explanatory. Fourth one down is settings. Now in settings, this is where you're going to go through and choose when you get alerts for new subscribers. So for example, if you want to get them as they happen every time someone texts, you'll just check that box. If you want a daily summary, you'll check this box. You have to turn on or off new subscriber alerts to make sure that you actually get them. I'm going to leave it on as they happen. If you want to get birthday wishes, or be able to give birthday wishes to people who text in, you could turn this feature on. Now, if you mouse over this question mark, you'll see it'll ask them for their birthday once they text and opt into one of your lists. So you can turn that on by checking this box. If you want to capture their name and email, again, you could turn it on and then it'll reply back to them asking for their name and asking for their email address. And if you want to be able to, and I'll mouse over this, if you want to get an email notification when you get a text and then be able to reply to that email and have it go out as a text to someone, you can turn this feature on. And what that will allow you to do, like I said, is if somebody sends a text message into you, it'll send you an email so that you see that you've got a text, and then you can reply to that email and it will deliver it as a text message to the person who sent it in. If you scroll down here, you can set thresholds for knowing when you've got low credits for text messaging or voice credits. If you're on the decentralized platform and you're using an unlimited plan, it doesn't really matter, but you can turn it on or off if you want to get notified. And then down here below, if you want to get alerts when you've got a new text message. So for example, if you want to get an alert when somebody is added to one of your lists, or if they send a message, you can choose if you want that to be an email alert, which will go to the email on your account, or if you want a text alert, and then you could put the country code and phone number, and then you can turn that on right here. Down below it says non-keyword incoming SMS auto response. What this is if someone texts into your phone number but they're not texting a keyword, you may want to send back an auto response. For example, you might send a response that says, "I'm sorry, but you've texted a keyword that is not active." Or you may just want to turn it on to say, "We've received your message and we'll call you in a moment." Now remember, if you're going to turn on an auto response telling someone you're going to call them, make sure you've got your alerts turned on. Next thing down below is call forward. Now I want to explain how this works in conjunction with voicemail. So if you turn call forwarding on, when someone calls your number, it'll forward to whatever phone number you put below. which means it will also use that phone number's voicemail when ringing through if you don't answer it. If you want it to use the voicemail and SMS it, turn off call forwarding. That way, a customer who is calling your phone number will always hit your voicemail. You'll get an email notification, and then you'll see something up here that says you've got a voicemail. You click on listen, and then it will open up and you can listen to that voicemail message. Then all you have to do is click the back button and it'll take you back to where you were. Now, last but not least is broadcast from phone. Now, this is best designed if you're just sending a message to a small group of people. Notice that it says under 50 people. If you're going to send a big message, you use the messaging feature that we'll go over in a later video. But basically what this does is it allows you to be able to send out a broadcast from your phone, and it shows you how to do that. So basically you type the word send, then you put in whatever the keyword is for that group. Like the example here says send pizza, if pizza were your keyword. Then you put a colon and a space and then what your message is. Again, this is only designed to go out to small groups of people. Now, if you are going to do a broadcast from phone, I recommend putting in the phone number for your actual texting account. Don't put your mobile phone number. You want it to appear to be coming from your platform phone number, not your personal phone number. Once you've made all the adjustments you need to make, just hit save, and the platform will save the information for you. Next thing over here is email services. If you click on email services, this is where you can enter the information to connect your email marketing service provider. Once you've put in the API key for that provider and hit save, the lists will populate, and then you can see which lists are there to add people to. Now, bear in mind, you're choosing one list that you want people to be added to when they give you their email address. So currently, my recommendation would be have a generalized list that you want to build. And right now the platform's got MailChimp, GetResponse Active Campaign, Aweber, and Sendinblue as your available choices, but create a general list and use that as the one to save to. That way you're not using a specific list and adding everybody to one that might be for pizza when you also have 20 other lists. Next thing down below is creating sub accounts. We'll do that in another video step by step. The next one is your API documentation. Now this will show all the different API info, integration info. So if you're somebody who understands APIs, if you're a developer, then this will be great information for you. And finally, 10 DLC, 10-digit registration for phone numbers. You'll have to look at your state and local laws as to whether or not you've got to fill this out, but SMS-iT is registered with the FCC. So in many cases, you may not need to fill this out, but make sure you take a look at your local laws as it relates to 10 DLC registration. So that's the walkthrough of the upper part and right menu of the SMS-iT platform. And in the next videos, we'll cover more specific features.